Superman, no reshoots, not a one. How come? Smart move? Bad move? Someone said, well, he's done movies before with little reshoots. We didn't say little reshoots. We said no reshoots. Big difference. So we'll get into that. Beetlejuice. I only said it twice. There's some big swings that they said went down in the movie itself. A big swing that I've been trying to take that I took. Warner Brothers back in the day was He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and so many different versions of this thing didn't come to play. Well, it looks like Travis Knight's version is going to happen, and there's a few more updates to that. There's some other stuff. There's James Cameron is going to do another Terminator movie. After I saw Alien Romulus, I'm hoping Fede Alvarez does it. Can't give a full review. I can give a couple spoiler thoughts and non-spoiler thoughts. So there you go. I see some people already putting in some super chats, and I don't know, it's so weird how this algorithm works. We go now, the algorithm knows that we go live on Mondays, and it lets everybody know, hey, they're live on Mondays, so you come check it out. You go live on Tuesdays, nobody knows. I don't know how this works. I give up. I'm just going to talk to you guys. So as you guys are putting in those super chats, thank you for doing so. I appreciate it. We're going to do, and we'll talk about a few other things, and that's it. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are wherever they're found. Make sure you subscribe to them. We're doing our first on Patreon today. We're doing a thing called The Bar, where we're basically getting a bunch of people together that have used to do these one-on-one sessions with me. And we're going to really build out this community and get to know a little bit more people inside of this community. There's some people who have their own YouTube channels, their own websites. We're going to have like a little session. So if you want to join us today, join us over on Patreon. We'll be over there. But let's get into it, everybody. Here it is. This is the big thing. It's me and you. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the big thing. I just want to let you guys in on something. And I don't think you know this. This is the text. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna show you guys, right? And this is literally as I go in. You don't understand. You guys see all the happy stuff going on. You don't see what I have to go through when I'm putting this together. Constant things from all over the place. This is the text I get. Dude is climbing up poop mountain. Whatever the fuck that means. That's my dog. So he's climbing up a poop mountain. This is what I get before I go live with people. I get, dude is climbing up a poop mountain. What do I do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? First of all, I don't know what it means. Second of all, even if I did, can I stop him from climbing up a poop mountain while I'm here? I don't understand these texts. Who knows? Well, so how you guys doing, man? I'm excited to be with you today. I don't know if you watching. My dog texted me. That's exactly what happened. I don't know if you were here yesterday, but we did the live stream with Rocco, myself, and then the Real Rejects were going live at the same time, and we were going back and forth, and we did this kind of like streamception, if you will. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. And it's continuous. When I was looking at both their stream and this one, I mean, I think today what I want to do, like I said, is not a lot of topics that I'm going to really dive into. I'm just going to dive into the ones that I chose today, and we'll discuss those. We'll go over those, and then if there's questions, there's like a couple questions thus far and whatnot, we'll get into those questions. And if there's only a few, then there's only a few. We'll do a short episode today, and that's how it goes. But I did see Alien Romulus last night, and as I said, there's an embargo on it. I can just tell you my initial thoughts walking out, and I enjoyed it, man. I really did. And I'm finding myself more and more as a big Fede Alvarez fan. I like the way the guy crafts movies. I like the way he puts movies together. I like his pacing. Really like, what's her name? Kaylee. Give me the girl's name. Kaylee Staney. Is that it? Probably not. The one from Civil War. Haley Staney. Something along those lines. I think it's Kaylee. I'm close. You'll tell me. really soon. Someone will tell me. Kaylee Spaney, I'm going to guess. And I think, yes, I was right. Kaylee Spaney. Great. Kaylee Spaney is awesome. She's a really, I liked her in Civil War. What, and again, help me out again. What was she in besides Civil War? Because there was something else before that she was in. And she's really good. She's really, really good. She was good in Civil War. I remember that. And then there was something before that. I just can't remember. I mean, when second someone puts it out there, I'll say, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. And I'll see if as I'm looking at the comments here. No, the big robot, another big robot movie. What big robot movie? What was that? She was in the new Craft. I didn't see that. Pacific Rim. I saw it, but I don't remember it. Maybe not. Maybe that's Adventures of Millie. Didn't see that. So none of this shit. Priscilla, no, didn't see Priscilla. Maybe that's what it was, though. I think it was Priscilla that someone had mentioned to me. I didn't see Priscilla, though. But that's the one I was thinking of. Not that I had seen it, but that people were talking about it. I think that maybe the first thing that really stood out with her was definitely Civil War. Was she in Evil Dead remake? That's what it was. Thank you. Was it Evil Dead? If she was in the Evil Dead remake, then yes. Then that's exactly what it was. And it would make sense because Fede Alvarez, right? I would make... This is what I want this show to be today. Mayor of Easttown is the other one. Look at you guys. Kicking ass. That's it. It was Mayor of Easttown. She was the daughter in that. Sons of bitches. You did it. You did it. Oh, it wasn't her. Never mind. See, you didn't do it. Bastards. I like this type of show today. I really do. And even for the podcast listeners, the audio listeners, you get what's going on. There's people talking to me in the chat. We're having a discussion. There's a little community that we're doing. And here we go. So if I ask for some help, and that's it. I meant Evil Dead Redhead. No, she wasn't in it. Okay, never mind. So she wasn't in it. What was she in? Was she in Mayor of Easttown, though? Is that what it was? Maybe I thought maybe that's what it was. Anyway. But nonetheless, Alien Romulus. Good flick. I like really like that pacing. And I think the reason I liked it maybe even more than I would have is because it stuck to what I've been preaching. It felt like that old style of filmmaking of it's a ship. They're running around, running away from aliens, and they don't have to go too big. What's that? I don't even know if they have the budget yet. If I'm going to guess, that movie costs $70 million to make. Alien Romulus budget. Now, they probably don't have it listed yet. 70 million. Nailed it. 70 million. 70 million. That's what they say. Perfect. It's what I'm talking about. You get a cast that can deliver what you're looking for. You shoot the old school way. You put it in one particular location. You use your budget when you need to use it. And you use the music the right way. You use the sound the right way. And you tell a story. And I hope this movie makes tons of cash. Because this is the kind of stuff I want to see. And, I'm not even I was going to open up with the Superman story, and I'm not going to, because I want to get to this Terminator story because it's relevant to what I'm talking about right now. And here, this is from Dark Horizons. It says James Cameron is planning a new Terminator. Filmmaker James Cameron has revealed that he's working on a new Terminator project, whatever the hell that means. Cameron famously directed the first two films in the sci-fi action franchise, but since then has mostly been hands-off until 2019's Terminator Dark Fate, which he returned as a producer. Not great news there that he did that. How much of a producer? I'm hoping the answer is not much, because that's not a good movie. Cameron is currently out with media promoting his new Nat Geo documentary, Ocean Explorers, when the Hollywood Reporter asked him about the Terminator franchise, more specifically the upcoming Terminator Zero animated series later this month. He says he's not involved in it, but he does find it interesting. During his answer came this bombshell. It looks interesting. My relationship to that is very much like the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Other people spinning stories. Let me get this for you. I'm going to actually, you know what? I want you to see this. I want you to see it. I want you to see the quote. Here's the quote, just for you. Right there. Ready? Perfect. Let's do that again. It looks interesting. My relation to that is very much like the Sarah Connor Chronicles. other people spinning stories in a world that I set in motion is interesting to me. What's their takeaway? What intrigued them about it? Where are they going with it? It looks like they're going back to the root cause of Judgment Day, the nuclear war, and whether that's an ultimate timeline. I'd be curious to see what they've come up with. I'm working on my own Terminator stuff right now. It's got nothing to do with that. Like with the Sarah Connor Chronicles, they occasionally touched on things I had been playing with completely independently. So there's some curiosity there. It's not a burning curiosity, but it's obviously it'd be nice to see it succeed. Now, what the hell to make of that? I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. The first thing that you can say is it if he's going to direct it, then I don't care how much the movie makes. I mean, movie costs. If he's going to direct the movie, which he's not, he's got 87 freaking Avatar movies coming out, and he's going to put all of his attention to those. So he's not going to direct any Terminator movies, at least I don't think. But if he's going to direct it, let's put that scenario there first. Then fine. Put $150 million in it because it's James Cameron. It's the one time I'm going to say, spend as much as you want and you'll make it back. I never bet against him. I never bet against James Cameron. I don't care. I will never do it, no matter what. You spent too much money in that boat movie. It's going to fail. Shut up. Blue People, alien movie, never work. Shut up. It's a sequel no one cares about. It's been too long. It's not going to make any money. Shut your ass. That's anytime someone says anything about James Cameron now. So if he's going to direct it, I don't care. He's going to make it for $400 million and make money. Eat your own turds. That's what I would say. And you know how I am about this money. I bring it down. So that's why I say, if he's not directing, then what they should do is knock on Fede Alvarez's door and say, listen, man, what you're doing with what you did with Evil Dead, what you did with Alien Romulus, we want you to do that with Terminator. Give me a $60 million Terminator. Can you do it? Because if you could get a cast that's as good as this cast, and they had a good cast in the Evil Dead also, it cost you nothing. And they bring you quality. And you make it for $60 million, $70 million, and tell me a story. That's what I'm hoping for. This is why I liked Alien Romulus and what it did. It really brought forward that point that I've been hammering down to you guys that you're sick to death of it. And I hope they do more stuff like this. I hope if you're gonna do these remakes, if you're gonna do these things, whether it's something like RoboCop or if you're gonna, people were talking yesterday, we're talking about Indiana Jones. Nobody wants to see another Indiana Jones movie, right? But if you did it for $50 million and you say, okay, a smaller movie in Indiana Jones, it looks more intimate, I'll give it a shot. Hopefully it's good. You know, that's the way you make these movies. And it's the way you can make a damn profit. I'm so curious to see how this movie does because I'm going to have egg on my face if I come back and this movie bombs. I don't think it is, though. I really don't think it's going to bomb. I think it's, I get that Deadpool and Wolverine is still out in the theaters right now and it's still making money. But I think that there was excitement in the air at this screening that I saw. RoboCop was ass. How dare you? How dare you? You talking about the original? How dare you? You talking about the remake? Fine, that was fine, just dull. But how dare you talk about the original like that? How dare you, sir? But I'd like to see like a Blumhouse version of that. I was like, take these IP properties, do the reverse, man. Do the reverse. They're taking these IPs and they're going out there and they're spending all this money on it. Do the reverse. Spend less. Get good actors, good stories, and get good directors that are going to bring some intensity to it. Because, man, there's the usage of sound in the new movie, and maybe even the lack of sometimes, is just it's incredible. And that type of stuff. And he knows how to use. I'm becoming a really big Fede Alvarez fan. I always admired his stuff, but I'm becoming a really big fan because he knows it's like that old school kind of way of filmmaking that you just don't see anymore. Someone who just relies on the tools and not just, I hope though, like there's a lot of directors like that though, you know, now as he becomes more successful, they're like, okay, here, you know what? Now you got 150 million. We can do with that. And then it just becomes the same cog in the wheel. Machine, whatever the hell this stupid statement is. So, you know, now whether or not that report of James Cameron doing a Terminator movie or Terminator project, whatever that means, it's vague. He said, I'm working on my own Terminator thing. So I don't know how that's going to play. Very curious to what you guys think. Got 2 questions in there so far. It's fine. It'll be a short show when we get to the question portion of the show. because we still got other things to talk about. I guess we should get to this Superman thing because I want to really get my point. Uh, let's see. Before I get to my point, let me just tell you guys real quick because I'm excited to tell you about two of our really good sponsors, both Liquid IV, which I've been talking about, and Hims. Here you go. I was having a barbecue with the family, and I was going to go and went to pick up some games for the kids to play, and I was picking up cornhole. And while I was at the sports store getting it, I kept seeing Liquid IV, and more and more and more, I'm so excited that people are learning about Liquid IV because I've known about them now for a bit since they've been on the show. It's the summer. The summer is thick right now, and your favorite summer treat could be giving you extraordinary hydration. Liquid IV has refreshing summer flavors like popsicle firecracker, it's got rainbow sherbet. It hits the spot when you need transformative, hydrating relief all summer long. So I really do enjoy it. It's been nice to have it. I moved, and I live in a very humid area now, and it's great to have Liquid IV. It really is, and I love this popsicle one, so I'm showing it right now. So what you want to do is they have so many different flavors too that makes it just really, really fresh. And you can choose from their line of sugar-free flavors. They have raspberry melon, they have white peach, they have green grape. It's great. You can go to the website and you can find all of it. It keeps your wellness rituals fresh and it keeps you motivated, it keeps you hydrated. So what you want to do is you want to tear, pour, live more. One stick, 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. It's powered by LIV Hydroscience, which is an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. It's got 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. So indulge in hydration this summer with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV, but you got to use liquidiv.com and use the code BIGTHING at checkout. You get 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today. Use that promo code BIGTHING at liquidiv.com. Hims! Guys, when we leave the house, whether you got your phone, wallet, keys, how's your hair look? But if you're experiencing hair loss, you may not be so confident when you step outside your door. Now, you got to get confident again. And you got to restore your hair. And you do it with Hims. Because nobody wants to lose your hair. And for men, it's common. And now with Hims, the solution is simple. You try Hims Hair Loss Solutions, and you'll be joining hundreds of thousands of subscribers who got their flow back. Hims provides access to a range of hair loss treatments that work all the way from the comfort of your couch. They offer personalized chewable, orable, spray, and serum treatment options so you can find what works best for you. The process is simple and 100% online. Just answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine if the treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to your door. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, so if you feel like you're losing a part of yourself with your hair loss, get Hims and get your confidence back. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/bigthing, HIMS.com/bigthing for your personalized hair loss treatment options. So that's hims.com/bigthing. Results vary based on studios of topical and oral mixodal. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. All right. Thank you once again to our friends over at Liquid IV and for him. So I've told you guys, and you guys know, a lot of you guys know that when you actually get one of the sponsors, that obviously you're helping the show out. You guys know that. I've gotten messages about it that said, hey, I tried it out. I did this, I did that. What maybe you didn't know is that I just put it in the comment section right there, whether it's Liquid IV or Hims. If you click on that link that I just posted right there, you just click on it. Just do me that favor right now. For people who are watching, just click on it. You don't necessarily have to buy anything. Love you to, but go there and look around. And when you look around, well, you're listening to my stupid face. Like, browse around, and that shows to them that people were looking in and they clicked on it, and that helps out a lot. You get something wonderful. If you don't, you clicked on it, and that helps. And whether you're watching on the replay or not, do that. That helps. Okay, let's get to this Superman thing. And I do see, by the way, and people don't know, I see there's another super chat that came in. So when those come in at the end of these topics, whenever those are, I will get into the conversation, and I will ask some more answer those questions. I went into the city last night, which was fun, learning the subway system a lot more than I used to. It's I'll tell you what's a good place, and I know you never, and I think I've talked about it once before. if you've gone to Penn Station is so different now. It's changed for my New York people out there. I can't believe Rose's Pizza is a lot better than it should be at Penn Station. Really good. The sauce is excellent. Really, really good. Anyway, all right. Let's get into this topic here because I really want to dive into it as I talked about it yesterday. Come on, stupid. Um, and that is Superman. In this movie, I love Superman. From being a kid, the Christopher Reeve movies really shaped my childhood. It was one of my favorite things in the world, and I just loved what he brought to the character. Richard Donner did to it. So, and I really, really enjoyed Man of Steel. I think I like it more than most, and I loved what they actually did with how Hans Zimmer took over and did his own score with it, and everything Henry Cavill brought to the role. I liked how Zack Snyder handled that. I liked the different take on it. I know that, I'm excited to see the traditional Superman, but I didn't mind seeing the version of kind of the where the hope was kind of lost a little bit more and this darker role. I didn't mind it. I liked it. But we're getting that old school Superman back, and James Gunn's bringing it back. So when James Gunn announced that he was taking, well, first of all, when they're taking over the DCU, and that this was going to be really the first one, and to bring it back, this is like the pillar of the DC universe. You could argue Batman, but Batman, I think most people would agree with that whether it's Christian Bale's Batman or Ben Affleck's or whoever, Batman's really been leading the charge as in overall as far as popularity goes with the fan base, as far as who you think of right away when you think of the leader. I mean, even Henry Cavill was kind of lost in the shuffle, or in a lot in most of the movies when someone's popping up, it's Ben Affleck, and like Henry Cavill was kind of lost. So putting Superman as the front and center, and James Gunn cast very well. This is not going to be a $60 million movie, but it's going to cost a little bit less because he's getting a cast like a David Corn Sweat, like a Rachel Brosnahan, all really good performers. Even Nicholas Hoult, not that expensive. And they will be in the sequels. But for now, you build out what you can build out, and maybe you spend your money however you're going to spend it. But one of the ways he's not going to be spending money is in reshoots. And I mentioned this on the show yesterday. I'm going to reiterate. James Gunn has basically said he doesn't foresee any reshoots. Doesn't see it happen. And I saw in the comment section earlier that someone said, well, yeah, he doesn't traditionally do a lot of reshoots. Doesn't do a lot of them. He says he's not doing any. Now, they usually always say we're going to do some, because usually what happens is the studio and the production company, when they hire the director, they go, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put this person on the, if we're hiring James Gunn, he's going to come in, he's going to do this. He's shooting all this stuff. And then we're going to he'll give us his cut. We'll watch his cut down. And then there'll be some things that we're going to want to have him reshoot and make sure he does this. We'll give him our notes and he'll go out there and we have that slated for, that's what we always tell everybody when they go, oh, they have reshoots. There's always reshoots slated. And the fact that they say, because the studio and other people go, well, we didn't get that. And sometimes it's because the director said, I didn't get a chance to shoot that. So-and-so wasn't available. Oh, shoot. We just thought of that now. I wish we could have thought of that a little earlier. But do we have the reshoots? Let's go shoot it. And that's what usually happens in scenarios like that. And the production company will say, hey, we have our reshoots. We really want them to shoot this thing again. Go out there and do it. But this time around, as I said on the show, he's the one making the decisions. So he doesn't want to use his reshoots because he knew he got all of his reshoots. Not going to spend any of that reshoot money. Doesn't need to. Because when he was there, he said, oh, I'm going to need this, 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 and this. Oh, I thought of something new. I'm going to shoot it today. I'm going to shoot everything. So what it does is it says, hey, I got enough confidence in this thing that I don't need to do reshoots. There's gonna be any reshoots. We're not gonna have to use those at all. We got everything we wanted to, even though we had reshoots. If we need them, don't need them. We got it all because he did all his reshoots already. He's the guy. He's the person. He's the one that's saying, okay, I like my cut. Who? Oh, what about Zoloff? Come on, Zoloff. He's not watching cuts and saying, go shoot this. He gave Safran, and maybe Safran says at one point, hey, James, did you like that? Do you want to do that again? I mean, talks to him about it. Think you need to shoot anything? He's like, no, I'm good. He's like, all right, you're good. And that's it. So it's a brilliant move. by posting, I don't think we're going to need reshoots. Oh, really? He's that confident in the movie? He knew from the second he wasn't going to do reshoots because he looked at it and he doesn't have anybody chirping over his shoulders and anybody saying, hey, you need to do this, do this, do this. I guarantee you some of the other movies have reshoots, the ones that he's not directing, because he's going to say, hey, we need you to do some reshoots because he's the guy. And he's going to, or he could very well say, hey, if you have everything in mind, you know what you want to do and you have it, but it's out there for you if you need it. But it's a good confidence builder to the fan base to sit and you get people talking and going, hey, look at this. No reshoots. They know exactly what they want to do. It's a brilliant move. It's a good PR move. It's a good move overall. It's a good confidence builder. I think it's great. Yeah, see, that's the whole point. Someone said no reshoots means confidence through the roof. Yeah, because he did them all. And he knew, and by also saying that, he gets that comment out of you. It's brilliant. Very smart. Did he do many reshoots for Suicide Squad? I don't know. I don't know who was running the shop at that point. But if I was to guess, they probably had him do some because they're like, we should have him do some things. We want him to do this. We saw this. Hey, James, we were thinking, if you can change that, would you do that? Yeah, you know what? I can go back and I can do that. I got so-and-so. I got Margot coming in. We'll do it. Fine. Yeah, we're scheduled to do it. Sure. What do you want me to shoot? Sometimes they don't even use the stuff that they do at the reshoots, but they have the reshoots and we already paid for them. We did it. He didn't need it because he said he's sitting there going to bed at night, writing the script going, oh, you know what? I got this. I'll make a phone call tomorrow. We'll shoot that instead. And then who do you got to sign off with? Me and Pete. That's it. I don't have to sign off with anybody. It's me. That is the benefit and the reason why with him in charge of doing his own thing, it's daunting. And the idea of like saying, hey, I got to direct the first movie that I'm in charge of. It's ballsy as shit. And it's like you can't say, because there are a lot of executives you could say, why don't you direct a movie? See what you can do. You put all this pressure on these guys. Why don't you direct the movie? He's like, okay, I'll start. I'm going to start by directing the movie and put everything in motion so everybody follows my lead. It's a great leadership move. And by doing it this way, the guy is a very smart businessman as much as he is creative. This is a very smart play overall by what he's doing. So I think it's a really good, it really does. It just installs confidence. It shows leadership, and it shows that, when you dig a little bit, you go, yeah, he knows what he's doing, because you can see it. You guys said in the comments, oh, that shows confidence. It does, but it also shows calculation in what he knew he was going to do. Like, if it was a tough shoot and he wasn't confident in what he was doing, he's got the reshoots to say, damn it. You know what? I didn't have this. I really wish I would have had that. I got to use those damn reshoots. But he did all this stuff and did all the rewriting and everything he had to do. And he did it on set. Now, we don't know. We haven't seen the movie. I could be changing and saying, maybe you should have done some reshoots because that scene was awful. I don't feel like that's going to happen. I don't feel like I'm going to say that. But there is a possibility. There's always a possibility. But that's when you roll the dice. And that's what he's doing. He's rolling the dice. Good on him. I like the move. I think it's great. And some people are wondering, what did Tom Cruise do? So is it Tom Cruise is officially nuts? What did he do? I mean, no. Blanket statement. But anyway, what do you guys think? Go ahead and put your comments in there. Getting close to the super chat side of it too. We got 5 in there, so we'll be out. We'll have some good ones I saw already come in, so that's cool. What else have we got? I think there's some other. Oh yeah, I want to do that He-Man story. Let's do that He-Man story. He-Man story. Okay, so Soups. There he goes. All right, now we get to this one. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, I don't know how many of you know my story with it. I don't want to tell it again and bore you all to tears, but I'm been very attached to the He-Man property. Had something get picked up. Actually, was working with the showrunner of Shogun on it, who wrote Justin Marks, who wrote a really good version of the Masters of the Universe. And I wonder now if he wanted to do that because of all his clout that he's got with that Top Gun Maverick. But he's not the one writing it. Back in May, it was the news that Travis Knight will direct the Masters of the Universe live action film at MGN, Amazon, and Mattel Films, with the movie due out in June 2026. And Nicholas Galzatine, no way I said that right, said to play He-Man. Now, for attorney reports that multi-award winner Fabian Wagner has been hired as the film's cinematographer. Wagner is also known for his work on Zack Snyder's Justice League and Overlord. Loved Overlord. And in the Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut was shot very well. And his works on shows like Game of Thrones and Sherlock. Okay, I like where they're going. Creature from the Black Lagoon is also another story, but this is James Wan is in early talks in a film adaptation of the Universal Pictures monster classic Creature from the Black Lagoon, yada, yada, yada. Mufasa, what's going on with Mufasa? Let's see, this is more voice casting. Wicked has a new release for a TV spot. I'm going to tell you with Wicked, guys, when I first heard that, I've never seen the Broadway musical. I've never seen the musical. So I hadn't heard nothing but wonderful things about the musical. And so I was actually excited. When they announced these movies. Trailers didn't do it for me. Am I in the minority here? Do you guys like the trailers for Wicked? Are you guys excited? At one point I thought Wicked was going to be like a major moneymaker. I wonder, and I'm curious, maybe it will be. I haven't seen. Let's get a yes or no in the chat right now. Excited to see Wicked? Yes or no? I want to see all yeses and nos and on all that. I want to see if it's mixed. I want to see if it's dominant one way or the other. Curious to who wants to see Wicked, because maybe I'm wrong. So there's a yes. It starts with a yes. So yeah, there's 3 yeses, a couple of nos, yes, another yes. Okay. So no. Seems like looks mixed. Not at home one day. Yes. Okay. It seems mixed. Okay. Yeah, a lot, and you're right. Someone said people will probably want to take their kids to it, so maybe it does make money. I don't know. I just haven't liked the trailers thus far. So anyway, the certain things, and then my wife was watching Bachelor in Space, whatever it was, last night, and she was watching that movie, that show, and they were doing a Wicked thing, and it was just nothing that the movie has associated with it, but the bit that they were doing was so stupid, so goofy. So I was like, oh, come on. But right audience, I guess, going after the right audience there. And yeah, my daughter wants to see it. So that's true. I looked and said, I don't know. Then again, I've said it before. Could come out of that movie and say, it was really good. Oh, this is hilarious. I thought about this too. This is so funny. I was checking the, my comments on the Alien Romulus thing, by the way. And I saw and someone said, let me guess. He loved it. Like, he loves everything. I said, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. You do me a favor. And if you're one of those people who thinks I love everything, or if you're one of those people who thinks I hate everything, right? Because I've seen that. The 2 comments I see all the time is, oh, he hates everything now. And the other one is, I love it. You guys got to get together. You have to get together, and you've got to vote. You got to vote. What is it? Do I hate everything now, or do I love everything? You got to vote on it, because it's too confusing to everybody. Because even the people who are just there, eating popcorn ready to comment something else about the movie, they see the comment. Well, I don't understand. Does he love everything or hate everything? You guys aren't in sync, and I don't like it. You need to be in sync with each other, because it just contradicts one another. If someone says, oh, I love everything, and then the next person says, I hate everything, that's just, come on. You're not on the same page. You guys got to get together. I'm sure you're in the same space. This is bullshit. We don't like what you're doing here. You got to be on the same page. Please. Got to do a poll. Do I like everything? Do I hate everything? Right. Exactly. Okay. We got to do He-Man. We got to talk about He-Man. So as I said, I worked on that thing. Loved it. Really wanted to do Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars. I think that if they do it right, I think they can make it special. Because that was the same thing we dealt with when I was pitching it in the first place back at Warner Brothers. Well, it had a purple tiger in it, so you can't take it seriously. Stupid. That's such an executive comment. It was a buddy of mine who said that too. I'll call him out right now, Naveed. Well, you guys know Naveed. Stupid. And I told him it was a stupid comment. He was the one that pushed. The reason I can give him that is he was the one that pushed and helped me get it through, so I can bust his balls about it. But there are those types of comments all the time. There's a purple panther. A green and there's a green scared cat. There's a skeleton face. It's not going to work. You can. You got to do it right. You got to have the right people doing it, and you got to do science fiction meets magic. And there's a way to do it. There really is. So this is the iteration of it. All the other iterations I've been very nervous about and very skeptical about and said, please don't go through. There was a few of them that I was like, please don't go through. Some of the casting that happened, I'm like, please don't go through. This is really going to just bomb. But I like what they're doing so far. Travis Knight has got me on board since what he did with Bumblebee. He just got it. And so if he's able to do that, but bring the science fiction and magic, and then this kid that just did the Anne Hathaway movie, I guess that's who He-Man is, right? Sure. Why not? Did I like Borderlands? I didn't see it. So there's no judgment there. I haven't seen it. So if it was a stinker, there you go. So funny though. Yeah. Yeah, I guess love everything. No, I guess you're gonna hate this one. Shut up. So yeah, that's everything. I think. Is there any? Oh no, the Beetlejuice thing. Let's get to the Beetlejuice thing because I'm yet another movie that it was on my most anticipated list. It's still up there, and I haven't really heard much about it. Come on, turn that off for. This is stupid. All this is just dumb. There you go. But Beetlejuice quickly just jumping up there more and more and more on my list. Can't wait. And Beetlejuice sequel, the cast says it takes big swings. Now, one of the most anticipated films of the year is Beetlejuice. Tim Burton's long-awaited sequel to his iconic 1988 supernatural dark comedy. 1988. Holy shit. That's been beloved by a generation. Burton's track record in recent years isn't as unaccessible as what the hell word is that? Who cares? As it was once back in the day, late 80s, 90s. So there's understandable concern that the sequel won't live up to the quality of its predecessor. That's not the case, according to several actors on the project. Speaking with Total Film Magazine, Michael Keaton says that he thinks the sequel has a stronger story than the first and more connections with various characters. There are like things in there that I was ready for. There are beyond delightful. Instead of saying, I can't wait until this thing shows up, or I just want this thing called Beetlejuice to go nuts, Winona Ryder, who returns to her role as Lydia Dietz from the first film, agrees. I feel very confident that it's going to match and exceed expectations. It certainly did mine, and mine are way up there. I literally think every generation can find something in there they're going to appreciate. Joining them is Justin Theroux, who similarly has nothing but praise. This movie takes some big swings. And it feels slightly out of control and unhinged. It has that vibe to it. It's clear that this movie was not made by talking points from audiences and studio notes and executives going, well, what's the most satisfying act 3? This is 100% like someone opening the front of Tim Burton's head and letting it dump into the screen. It's a fabulous ride for exactly that reason. You also have Catherine O'Hare, Jenna Ortega, yada, yada, yada. It comes out September 6th. Listen, man, I like that. I like what they're saying. I'm on board with that. I think that is what I want to hear. I want practical effects. Jumping back to what we just talked about with Alien Romulus. I love the fact that this movie comes out on September 6th. It means it's not a huge, big budget movie. I think it's going to be one of the biggest September movies of all time as far as box office goes. And let's see. Now, this does scare me because I could see this movie having a big budget. Could see it have a big budget. So let's see. Paramount produced it for $60 million and Amazon bought it for $125. No, it's not true, is it? No. Someone says it had a budget of $170 million? No. That can't. No. Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice 2 Return will redeem 107. No, that's not it. That's not true. It doesn't say. The horror comedy, no, it doesn't say. Beetlejuice budget now. That says 150 million. I can't really get. Can you guys get a lock on how much the budget is? I can't really see. But 150 is not. That's not good. You can't do that. Is that 150? Anybody doing research out there? Tell me what you see. I hope not. I hope that's not the case. That's scary. Don't be 150. Don't be 150. Oh my God, don't be 150. Anyway, I think it's going to be big. It is going to repeat. I think it's going to appeal to a young audience. I'll tell you why. Because not only the Jenna Ortega side of it, that Beetlejuice play really hit 75 million. Is that what it is? Okay. Some people are saying 75. It's not really out there. It doesn't seem like, but 75 is a perfect budget for this movie. Is in the same way that Alien Romulus. Perfect. Yeah, anything over 100. So yeah, I think because the play, you look at, I use my daughter as an example. She watched the original movie with me, loved it, then fell in love with the play, and then really wanted to. I ended up taking her to see the play. We were still in California. She loved it, and I want to. And she can't wait to see it. She can't wait to see this movie. So I think it's going to hit a younger generation. And yes, you're absolutely right because of the Jenna Ortega side of it too. Very smart for Tim Burton to bring her along, especially the fact that he directed her and produced her, obviously, in Wednesday. Winona Ryder back. Michael Keaton is the magic sauce there, obviously, as Beetlejuice. So who doesn't want to see him back? And the beauty of it is that there's sometimes when somebody comes back and you're like, oh man, I really want to see a 65, 70-year-old person doing this thing again. He's been lucky enough to both times, whether it was coming back as Batman and coming back as Beetlejuice, he's in heavy enough. He's in The Mask and Batman, and it works because he's this kind of like old beaten down Batman, and Beetlejuice, which is all full makeup. So he looks a little weathered, but he's not. He's got makeup on. You can hide the age and bring out the youth because he's such a youthful personality in general. So I'm pumped for it, and I'm pumped for it because of what they just said. That was my expectation was don't make a big studio film. Don't make a big studio film with Beetlejuice 2. You just one of these things where like, okay, we have to try to just reinvent it now. We got Tim back now. He needs to do another movie. Tim, do this. Here's our notes. He's like, no, I'm doing my movie. I'm going to do a movie that I want to do because the trailers have looked that way. Even with the freaking sand monster looks like something out of 1988. And I love that. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't agree. I don't think he looks his age. I think the idea of him being in that makeup just kind of puts that to the side, but hey, teach your own. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna get to the questions. If you have any questions, throw them in there, and we'll be out in just a moment. But before I do, I'm going to tell you to wash your rear end and then go play a really cool game. And do it. Here it is. So many comments lately about everybody that's buying the Tushies. And I see why you're buying them. I love them. You love them. Chris Carr loves them. Everybody loves the Tushies. I'm so excited to get you guys to get a Tushy that I almost thought about doing this from the bathroom. But then I was like, no, I want you to get it. It's terrible. That's a terrible thing for me to do. But I want to do it because I want to show you how much I love the Tushies. Check this out alone. Look at this. Just open up the toilet lid. You spray the water right in your tush. It's wonderful. Look at that. That's how it works. It's that easy. You put it on the toilet, you open it up, you spray the water on your butt. It's lovely. It's going to change the way that you think about cleaning up after a spicy dump in a coffee shop or a porta potty during a music festival. You're going to want to take Tushy with you everywhere, and thankfully you can. Because the Tushy Travel, it's collapsible, it's durable, and discreet portable bidet that gives you the most confident clean on the go. I keep telling people about these things. Everybody are getting the Tushies now, and everyone's like, oh, man, can I use your code? Can I use your code? Of course you can. It's the best. I got one. I've got two in my house right now, and it is so wonderful. We feel classy in this house. It's got a 3-stream nozzle for a total clean. It's got a new air mesh bag for discreet travel, faster dry time. It comes in 5 new colors. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and 12-month warranty. So stop Wiping until you bleed. Join the 2 million butts who have already made the switch to Tushy. For a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off your entire order, but you got to use that code BIGTHING. 10% off Hello Tushy, HELLTUSHY.com with the promo code BIGTHING. So many. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about one of our sponsors today. That's Raid Shadow Legends. You've been watching this channel long enough. You've heard it's one of the only mobile RPG games that I have played. And I'm not alone. There's over 4 million users that are playing Raid Shadow Legends. It's got over 250 million downloads. It's cool because it has over 850 playable champions. It's got 16 factions to choose from. It's got over 30 bosses to take down. It's got millions and millions of builds that you can work with. So this is a game that you are not going to be bored playing. It's got monthly content updates. It's fully cross-platformed. You can play it with everybody. So do me a favor, click on the link in the description and you will see why this is one of the most downloaded RPGs and why so many people are playing it. Go and give it a shot. What's great is the second you sign up, they give you a starter pack and they give you a champion, Big Elf, Big Ears, Tyrell. He's pretty awesome. Tyrell is highly regarded as one of the big players. He's got a lot of different things that come in, and all raid players talk about how incredible he is with the arsenal that he comes with. When you reach level 25, you get another starter pack. So come join me. You can join the Clan Harloff when you sign up with Raid Shadow Legends. This isn't a silly game. This isn't a stupid game. This is a fun game. This is a game that you guys know me. It takes me a while to, am I interested? And I'm interested. I talked about this a while ago, and I'm still talking about it now. So check it out. Its link is in the description. Hey, quiet. Deadpool. You get it. It's out. Thank you for everybody who's joined here. And as I said earlier in the broadcast, if you didn't know, as I've mentioned many times over, you're watching on the replay, you're watching Apple Podcasts, you're watching on Spotify. When you get one of our sponsors, yes, helps out the show. It keeps the show on the air, keeps us going. And August has been there's not a lot of stuff out right now. So it's been a slower month. So when you're doing that, click on that link. Like I put them in the chat. Click on the link. Helps out tremendously. Do me that favor. Click on it. Thanks. Okay, let's get to your questions. I'll stay here until the last question. Promise. First one. Roman Fedorak. Hey, Kristian. Hey, Roman. Thank you for answering my question the other day. I know you are familiar with a lot of HBO shows. Have you ever watched Deadwood? Fan of Westerns, so it's a new fave of mine. Thanks. I never got into it as much as everybody else did. I never got into it. And I don't know, maybe it might have been, I might have to revisit it because for some reason, I don't know why. I think that it bothered me in the Old West that they were cursing. And not that I had a problem with cursing. I just didn't feel like it was realistic, which why wouldn't they have cursed in the Wild West? I think it's because I've been watching Tombstone and all these other movies, as kind of growing up, that they weren't throwing out F-bombs and it just wasn't used to it. It didn't seem realistic to me, which is, again, if you were like, that's stupid, I'd say you're probably right. But that was, I know that Ian McShane was phenomenal in it. All the everybody that was in it, people love it. So I hear great things. So I'm glad that you discovered it. Joe Hendo TV. Do you feel like it's a mistake not including Robert Pattinson's Batman in DCU? I can't say mistake because the answer, no, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say no. I don't think it's a mistake. And I'll tell you why. Because it's something that when we talked about this thing where people were asking about whether or not they were going to do standalone Gambit and the standalone Blade movie with the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, and why it's too confusing because you've got this whole MCU and they've kind of pigeonholed themselves with the MCU where they've got to make their movies that lead to the next event, that lead to the next event, that lead to the next event, because they're telling this whole big story that eventually goes somewhere else. It's just what they've done. They've done it over the course of however many years. The DCU has pretty much come out and said, well, this is what we're doing. We have that thing, these movies of leading to, but then we have Elseworlds. We have other things. We got this Joker thing. We got the Penguin series. We got Batman. We got all that stuff, and they live separately. And so I think it's smart to have that. Now, if everyone's going to understand that, who knows? We'll see with the success and how that works. But they knew, it was the smart play overall because they knew this. And you never get this kind of clear-cut answer out of them. But in the same way that when they first came on the scene, they're like, well, what's going on with Momoa? What's going on with Gal Gadot and what's going on with so and so and so and so. And the only one they said was Cavill. He's definitely not coming back. They said Cavill's definitely not coming back. That was definitive. I was like, why not Cavill? And the answer, the question was because James Gunn knew exactly what he wanted to do with Superman, and he didn't want to do a Cavill version of it. He knew nobody else was coming back, but he also knew he had movies coming out. He had a ton of he had Shazam coming out. He had the Flash coming out, Aquaman. All these movies are coming out, so you can't say nobody's coming back because then people go, what the hell am I seeing this for? We'll keep the doors open no matter what. Because the problem they would have had is if it did do a lot of if the Flash would have made a lot of money, like $1 billion, don't be surprised if Ezra Miller and a few other people would have stuck around. It would have caused a ton of shit, but money talks, and they probably would have fought for it. But because it didn't, and because it got nailed by fans, easy for them to go, okay, we don't have anybody here anymore. So they have this Elseworld stuff, and Pattinson's Batman. They knew that it was popular. They knew people loved it. They're not getting rid of that. It's stupid to get rid of that. They already had this deal with Matt Reeves. Not getting rid of it. So they said, let's make an Elseworlds thing. Todd Phillips going to do a sequel to this thing? First one made $1 billion. They're making Elseworlds. It's fine. It's Elseworlds. We don't need to tie it together. So no, don't think it was a mistake at all. Joe Hendo TV, who just asked me that question, and I just answered it. NLFC 96. I've been watching your House of the Dragon review. I know you love the season finale, but would love your complete thoughts about it. I loved it. Well, so I don't think I'm going to get to it because I just at this point I don't think anybody's looking for those, and I need to put stuff on here that's going to that people are going to watch. But what I will say is this: I'll give you my overall thoughts on it. You know what I should do? You know what I really should do here? I think that because of that and stuff like that, maybe I should just do certain things and do and have patrons kind of vote on it, right? Or maybe even or you guys tell me, should I do this thing? I'm going to go to the live chat here. Should I do something? Because I'm not going to do when it comes to certain things, like House of the Dragon. Normally, if I didn't miss it, I would have done it right away, done my immediate reaction, done that stuff. But this is an outside question I want to get from the people in the chat here, because there's always extra stuff that you can put on Patreon, right? Like, let's say there's something you guys like, oh, you know what? I'd really like to see you review the Goonies. I haven't seen you do the Goonies, and I'd love to see you review the Goonies. Well, I'm not going to do a review of the Goonies and put it up on the channel right now because it's not 2011 with me and Mark sitting there to where I know that would do well. It's just not. People aren't searching for Goonies review. The algorithm wouldn't favor it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that if there's enough people who said, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see you have a review on that. You know what? You never saw this movie, and we're waiting for your thoughts on it. Now, does it play to either do a Patreon thing or should I do a channel memberships thing? Should I do a channel memberships for this channel to where I do just special reviews that people request? I'm curious. What do you guys think about that? I don't know if something smells good in here. What the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. Did I bring something? It smells good. Chicken? Something good in here. I'm just hungry. I think that's what it is. Anyway, so I would say one of those two. Well, yeah, but it seems someone said do them live like this. If it comes to Game of Thrones and those types of things, sure. But when it comes to certain things, like certain reviews, I don't think it's a waste when it comes to, people want to see those things. And people want, the channel memberships, maybe I just started a channel membership on the Down to Earth channel, which is the UAP stuff. So we've been talking about it. We'll see. Okay. Let's get to the next one. So far, 12 questions in here thus far. Thanks, guys. Thank you. What's the next one? This is from Joe Hendo again. Thank you, Joe Hendo. Man of Steel is definitely my favorite Superman film. Interesting. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's not my favorite Superman film, but Superman 2 is still my favorite. But it's a really good movie. I really like it a lot. Joe Hendo, would you like to see the Shoemaker cut of Batman Forever? It only cost $1 million to finish. Yeah, I'd love to, but the problem is Joel Schumacher's not with us anymore. It's like who's gonna edit it? Who's gonna put it together? Who knows how he would have actually put it together, because he's just not with us anymore. But I would have loved to seen that and seen how to actually. I would like a serious version of that movie, because that was such a product of the mid 95, such a product of 1995. That movie, Jim Carrey at his heights. Yeah, that's such a. That movie does bring back memories for me. I remember seeing that as a kid, and yeah, it brings back memories. And I remember we watched it recently when we did our rewatch stuff. Um, Kingsport Cal, what's up, Cal? What's going on with the Capes and Cows comics? Well, the great Wicked Art, who posts speaking of Patreon, he posts each issue that he does of the comic. He posts it on Patreon. What we're gonna do is once the entire thing is done, he's gonna finish the whole. I told him not to. I don't want him to. The guy is so damn talented that he was getting. I didn't want to get stressed out where like he figured he got to finish it by the end of the month. Like no, just finish it when you finish it. But whenever he does, he's going to send me like the big book of all of the stories, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in everybody through virtual whatnot, and we're going to record the lines, and we're going to show the audio over the actual pictures and put music behind it and all that. And we're going to do like a big Capes and Cows, probably be like a 2-hour episode, and we'll do that, and then people will be able to get the issues. But it's really, really good. He's a besides being a really talented guy, he's probably one of my favorite people that I've gotten to talk to on that one-on-one session. It's just a really solid dude. So I'm glad that you're looking forward to it because it's awesome. Pete Parker, 2288. Cameron said in an old Stern interview that he made no money from Titanic. What? I'm not sure that I believe him. He went over budget, apparently. I don't know if I believe that either. How the hell did you not make that? I mean, you fire your lawyer, you fire your agent. If that's the case. How the hell did you make no money on that? Yeah, I don't believe that either. Pete Parker, can I get Dreyfus talking to George R. R. Martin? It's the same thing. Hey, you see when I said it that thing? Oh, I'd rather you not because you want to smell my finger. You decide who said it. Mad Sinister McCall. I told my 10,000 subs you're the greatest YouTuber ever. Thank you, Mad Sinister. Appreciate that. You're the best. Jim One, favorite Bond movie. I love the Roger Moore run. I'll tell you, I like what's the one with the Javier Bardem one with Daniel Craig. It's probably is that Skyfall? Is that the one? I think so. Pretty damn good. Jacob Fleck. Did you hear that the Lando project is apparently canceled? No surprise there, but I was excited for that. Bummer. But yeah, so that one was so what happened with that is I saw that and I wrote, well, yeah, we knew that was going to happen. And someone, well, that's not actually what happened. What actually happened was they're going to do a movie. That's what's going to happen. It's like, no, they're not. They're not going to do a movie. They're not going to do a TV show. They're not. It was stalled 1,000 times over. They're not. And if it happens, when? They didn't even announce. They didn't even announce when the damn thing. When any of these movies, they had one movie that they talked about, Mandalorian and Grogu. That was it, and rightfully so. They don't know what the hell's going on with the Daisy Ridley movie. They know they have it locked in for $12 million. Whether or not the director winds up doing it or not, who knows? Filoni's movie is dependent on everything that happens in Ahsoka season 2. Who knows what's going on in the Mangold movie? Who knows what's going on with the Sean Levy movie? The Taika movie will never see the light of day. The Ryan Johnson movie will never see the light of day. The Patty Jenkins movie will never see the light of day. The Lando movie will never see the light of day. And it's just not me, just saying, oh man, how can you be so skeptical? Because it's the same shit that keeps happening. It's like, I can tell you that eventually I will get another text about my dog because it just happens. So it's going to happen. But yeah, it's just not shocking anymore. It's also why it's like, it is one of those things where it's kind of baffling to where you look at the Marvel, you got to give even if you're a Marvel, if you don't like Marvel, right? And I think everybody had been like on their ups and downs, but even if you didn't like them, unless, there are some people who are just haters who are just going to say, no, you could have everything in front of you and say, no, they didn't do this right. What they did with both Captain America and Daredevil, right? The new Captain America and Daredevil, like that's smart. They're trying to get around the quality lack of what they've had recently, and they're moving around. No, wait a minute. What we've been doing has not been working. The audience is saying what they want to see and how they want to see it. There's been so many different people calling out, why are we changing the Netflix thing instead of putting our boots in, digging our heels into the ground here? Let's listen. and let's bring them. Let's just bring back that show. It's popular. We have it. We have the property. We have the actors. They want to do it, and let's do the tone. And they did it. And they reshot everything that they were going to do, and they did it. They are going to take a loss on this Captain America movie. They're going to spend close to $420 million total on making 2 movies, basically. And why? Because they want a quality movie. They reshot the whole damn thing. They said, this is not working. We can't put this out. They said, because if they put the quality out, they get to a place to the next movie where that starts to help, because they'll have 2 hits back to back if this one delivers. So it's a risk you take. Makes sense. But then you go to the other side, you go Lucasfilm, and it's like they don't think anything's wrong. It's like you can't just blame there's certainly is a portion of fan base that is just hateful and doing it for clicks. There's no doubt about it. But you also can't ignore that there are people who are not, who just aren't so my friend who I bring up all the time on this show, my friend John Pinto, who is he's just an average film fan. I took him to see Romulus. He's just an average. He doesn't even know what the hell's going on. I don't know how Rogue One came up. And we started talking about Rogue One, and then we talked about Andor. No, you know what? He was talking about Dune. That's what happened. He brought up Dune and how good Dune and Dune 2 were. And then he said, that's probably the best science fiction movies in a bit. And then we started talking about Andor. And he's like, oh, Andor, I really loved. He's like, I haven't liked a lot of the Star Wars shows. How come? I said, they're not well written. That's how come. And he's like, was The Acolyte any good? I heard it was terrible, is what he said. And he's not going on hate sites. He's just talking to people that are watching it. And he's like, I just heard it was terrible. He's like, I looked a little bit, it just looks bad. I was like, the writing sucks. And so it's like, but they're not how they're not listening, and they're only blaming on a wall because there's people who are misogynistic and racist and those things. And like I said, those people certainly exist, but that's not what's happening in the overall grand scheme of things. They're not making good stuff. Now, I do think that Mandalorian and Grogu has an opportunity. As I hate the title. I understand the title. Marketing wise, I understand the title. Because you're sitting there in whatever movie it is, and the Mandalorian and Grogu. Oh, Grogu! Yay, Grogu! Smart. Newscasters, when they say Baby Yoda, smart. You get the word out. I get it. I just hate the title. But that movie to me has the opportunity to essentially do what Deadpool and Wolverine did, right? In that reigniting the fan base. Oh my God, this actually feels like Star Wars. It feels like that feel and that energy and that thing. It feels like it. It's got the opportunity to do that, like the same way that Mandalorian season 1 and season 2 did. But the question is, in the same way that we ask about Captain America, can it follow up? Can the next movie follow up? What is the next movie? And that's where I think that they're panicking. I don't think that they understand what to put out next. That's why they haven't had an announcement about it. Like, yeah. And I think that comes from Iger also. What do we put out there next? We can't get the goodwill back and then just lose it again. Because getting the goodwill back was tough. And they did it after Mandalorian season 1 and 2. They had The Last Jedi, which was a grenade with the whole damn franchise, regardless how you feel about it. It was a grenade throughout the whole thing, split the whole fan base into 2 pieces. And then Rise of Skywalker was just a cotton candy fluff piece that most people just didn't like. I'll take that all day long over Last Jedi personally, but that's because it's fluffy. It's fluffy cotton candy. It's got no substance to it, but it's fluffy cotton candy. I can do without the entire new trilogy, but when Mandalorian 1 and 2 came back, came in, those 2 seasons of 1 and 2 got everybody going, oh, wait a minute now. Okay. And it seemed like, oh, wait, they can do it. And then they just started doing this shit again. And I think it's just too many. I think that my personal opinion is what happened is that there wasn't a lot of involvement from anybody except Filoni and Favreau for those 2 seasons. And then once they became a real big hit, then other people started getting involved. That's my opinion on it, but we'll see. Anyway, moving down. I think there's a few others. Maybe not. No, this is the last one. No, there's 3 left. There's 3 left. Okay. Jim 1, I enjoyed House of the Dragon, but I felt we were robbed of a big finale. It would be like if season 2 of the Game of Thrones ended just before the Battle of Blackwater. So I understand the argument. I really do. And I think that it's not fair for me to say that, well, I enjoyed it. I don't know what you're talking about. I went into it knowing what you just said. And that's that it just kind of lacks this thing. And I think it was a benefit that I missed the finale because I do think I probably would have been like, that's it. Oh man, it's a lead up. It's a great lead up to season 3. But I think because I was prepared for it, and I do feel like it's one of these things though that it's going to play like a massive movie that when you watch this again, in whenever this thing wraps after season 4, and you watch all 4 seasons, I think it's going to play wonderfully. It's just the problem is you got to wait 2 years for the conclusion of the conclusion of this season really because they've already said it. Season 3 is going to be a full on battle. The whole season is going to be a full battle. So I think you'll forgive it in the long run, but it's the fact that you're watching it now and you want that satisfaction of all this buildup that got you there. You want to see it now. I think you're going to get it, but you just have to wait 2 years, and that sucks. So I understand it. I completely understand that. I didn't mind it, and because I finally finished it, I really liked the episode a lot. I thought it was just very well written, very well written. Armada, $4.99. Thank you, Armada. Hope if Romulus is successful at the box office, Blomkamp's Alien movie happens, but I don't know. That concept seems dope. I don't remember what the concept was. I do, and I don't want to spoil it. I wasn't sure, and I don't know if because I didn't watch any trailers for Alien Romulus, by the way. There was one movie I was able to stay away from the trailers and react to any of them and do anything. So I knew nothing about it. I don't know if the in the trailer, if they reveal where this lands in the timeline. I'm not going to tell you, but if they do, great. But they do in the movie, so you'll know in the movie where it relates and as far as the story goes. Okay. Roman, I think Roman started us off, might end us off. I don't know. We'll see. Roman, you said that Chinoy might leave the Ray film. Do you think that Chinoy will leave Lucasfilm before Mangold? Would Lucasfilm drop him after 95? There's no way they're going to drop Mangold. There's no way because Mangold was not the reason that movie didn't work. Again, a lot of cooks in the kitchen for that one. Inflated budget. That was a lot because of COVID and other things too. I think he was told, hey, listen, we want to go in this direction, do this, do this, do this. I think that's exactly what happened. You don't look at his resume, his extensive resume and the things he did, whether it was Logan, Ford versus Ferrari, all these different things. You don't look at those and say, oh yeah, that was a one-hit wonder. We caught the bunk. No, it's Mangold. You don't get rid of Mangold at all. At all. You give him a shot to do what he's going to do, especially in that time period. But the reason why he could leave, if either one of them leaves first, if it's got to be Chinoy, only because the movie's potentially coming out soon. So if she doesn't, then obviously it's going to be Mangold or nobody, because that movie, I just don't know the Ray one. I think that I just wonder. I'm so curious, like when they do interviews, certain interviews, like that interview she did on CNN or wherever it was. It's like there are certain talking points that I think that every director, no matter who you are, whether you're Mangold, anybody, you got to have talking points when you're in a position right now when you're trying to get back your brand. You got to have talking points. I think every person, whether it's a Kevin Feige to a Kathleen Kennedy you got to have talking points. And there's certain times, and I know that it's not a popular opinion. I've said it before, and people have pushed back on it. But in the executive side of things, when you're looking at it, when you're making a movie, and you're making a movie for $40 million, $50 million, and you want to aim that movie at a particular side or a particular political views, political thing, and you're going to alienate another side, $50 million is like, okay, as long as those people who we're aiming at spend the money to go see it, then take the risk. Do what you got to do. If you're making a movie like Star Wars, where you need to make 500, 600, 700 million dollars, you want everybody to be on board. Even if you don't like your fan base, you got to have everybody on board. If you want to make the kind of money you want, it sucks, but you have to say, well, or don't spend the money you want to spend. Like I said, make a $30 million movie, or $40 million movie and say, I don't care. We're going to make a small Star Wars movie. We're going to aim it. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to say, and I'm not saying that the movie itself is going to be like that. I just, the particular comments that I thought that Chinoi was making was alienating people, because also it wasn't factual. Kathleen Kennedy was actually one of the first women to ever be part and run a Star Wars movie. She didn't say direct. She didn't say I'm the first female to ever direct a feature film, because even directing wouldn't be accurate. Whether it was Deborah Chow, whether it was Bryce Dallas Howard, so it was just it just wasn't same thing. Like I was all for the idea of saying, look, I'm proud to be the first woman who's going to be directing a feature film Star Wars. Nothing wrong with saying that. If people get mad with you saying that, F you. It's a proud badge to wear. But it just came off wrong. So I don't know. And I don't know if you're Bob Iger, if you're going, oh, or maybe she's putting together a hell of a project and you say, you know what? That absolutely kicked ass. So who knows? Bam. 86, great interview with David Castaneda. I enjoyed the last season of Umbrella, though I thought it got a lot of hate. Did it? See, I binged 1 through 3. And I haven't watched 4 yet. Is 4 not that good? What's wrong with 4? Tell me. I want to know. Okay. So Ryan, did you work on that one? Because I don't want to, well, I will tell you this. So Agatha all along. I'm actually really, I'm a big fan of Catherine Hahn. I think Catherine Hahn is an incredible talent. I really do. And I think what Marvel will be smart to do with this show, because this show was greenlit during the time when they were greenlighting everything, and hey, that was a popular show and she was really good. Give her own show. That person gets a show. Everybody gets a show. I think that what they are doing smart is they're putting it around the Halloween season, where it'll play like Werewolf by Night, and let it live there. And then that's it. Let it be a mini series. And if it's good, great. And it's a complete Hollywood or Halloween thing that people can check out. I don't know how it ties into the greater MCU. I have no idea. Maybe that'll be explained in the series itself. But the marketing side, I mean, it's brought awareness to people. I've just never been excited for the show. So do I think that it's a good, they've been marketing well? Yeah, I think they've been marketing very well. Do I think people are aware of the show? Yes, I do. I think that it looks like it's a very good, it's put together very well. It looks high quality. It looks like it's going to be fun. I just don't necessarily know if it's going to be, my cup of tea, but we'll find out after episode 1. We'll see. Ryan actually follows that up. I hope New York has been treating you well. Thank you, Ryan. It has. I love it, actually. It's really nice, actually. And yesterday, the weather was nice yesterday. I was really digging it. I really like going into the city. What's so funny is that I would have to drive when I would go to Burbank for screenings. The Burbank screenings were like, with traffic, it'd take anywhere between an hour and an hour and 15 minutes. And it was miserable. Just sitting in that traffic, just bumper to bumper, awful. When I go to a screening in the city, it takes me about 45 minutes on the train. It's about so peaceful. I'm just on the train. I'm checking my emails. I'm doing work. When on the way back from the screening last night, I was uploading stuff. I was responding to comments. I was doing it, and it just it was so much less stress going. I mean, the one thing, there was Century City was right by where I used to live in California, and it would take 3 minutes. That was great. But even then, going to that parking lot and everything too, I enjoy. I feel like I made the right move. I saw there was a turd on wheels last week. Holy shit, I forgot about that guy. I got rid of him. This guy's he's lying about why he moved to New York. Why? It's not cheaper. I left LA, Ryan. It was like $6.50 for gas. It was crazy. It was like crazy. $6.50 for gas. And then it's like $3.25 here. And I said, I don't live in the city. The groceries are cheaper. There's tons of the schools are better. Everything from where I was, everything is better. So the guy's like, why don't you move to another place in LA then? Well, it's because didn't have any schools in the place already, you dickhead. Jim won. Best movie fight memory. Do you keep up with Spencer? Spencer from Movie Fights? Um, I yeah, Spencer and I always got along. I wasn't necessarily really close with Spencer, but every time I went in to movie fights or anything, I always got along with Spencer. I always thought he was a very funny guy, nice guy. But we weren't like buddies or anything. We just kind of coincidences. Coincidences? Sure. Sure. That's what we were, coincidences, acquaintances. My brain is broken. It's broken. We were coincidences. The two of us. Fucking idiot. But best movie fights memory. Well, there you go. Battling Mark. And I have to say it, probably Night Falls. I had to make up a movie on the spot. And it worked. So yeah. Okay. Bam 86. For me, season 4 of The Umbrellas humor really landed. I could tell you were worried about that when David mentioned the comedy, but it had me laughing a lot. Yeah, I mean, look, I will say this because I didn't really give a review of it because I will tell you, and it wasn't just because I was interviewing him. My favorites on the show, I mean, definitely, I think that Klaus number 5 is my favorite. 5 is my favorite. Klaus and Diego, those are my 3 favorites. I thought Luther got worse as the seasons went on. I thought they just really goofed him up. He got goofier and goofier every season. I don't mind the humor in that show because they established what that humor is, and that humor works for me, and I like the way that they play on humor. But he was just such a gosh darn goofball. I don't know if he gets goofier in 4 or whatever, but I just didn't. I liked him less and less. But Diego, I really liked a lot. 5 and Klaus, those are my 3 favorites. Okay. Johnny Venerable, when will we see Darth Plagueis again? Who knows, man? I'm like, what I hope that they do, and I don't. And look, if they could do it, you know, you would hope that they say in the board meeting, "Hey, listen, didn't go the way we wanted it to, but people kind of responded to Plagueis, so we got these books back here, right? There's these books that we have, this James Luceno book, and people really like the Andor. It kind of has that feel. If we get like a really good director and a DP and some really like Emmy award-winning writers and adapt this book, we could do like a 6-episode killer series on this thing and blow people's minds. Bring Plagueis back. He's been introduced now. Show the rise of young Palpatine. Show those politics, but show what's going on with the Sith. Show that side of the Jedi of what's happening in the infiltration of how he have found his way. We can ignore the twins thing. What happened to the twins? They blew up. So that's what I would hope. There's no world that happens, but I don't think anybody's going to care if we're the twins. They moved. Where? Who cares? They're gone. And we brought back Daphne Keene though from the dead. It's either that or the twins. Bring her back. She's a zombie. That's fine. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? No, I think that's it. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? If not, I want to say thank you to all of you. Thanks for being here today. Really appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. It was a good conversation. It was a good range of topics. And that's it, baby. So, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found, make sure that you hit those buttons. And as I said, if you go into the description, you can go into that description and you click on one of those links. Any one of our sponsors here today. Look, do I want you to get something for yourself and say, like, hey, I really enjoy what I got there today? Of course I do. But if you click on the link and you browse around, that helps a lot. So, okay. Well, then someone said you never seen past 6. Well, the West Hollywood area, it was past 6. Tons of it. Someone said they've been living there for a while, never saw past 6. Well, you weren't driving in the places I was. I saw it everywhere. Sheridan and I talked about it all of the time. So you just probably weren't in the same place. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us here today. Appreciate you guys. And tomorrow, let's tell you what's going on. Tomorrow, we got Michael Emerson from Lost is going to be on the show, and obviously from Fallout and a lot of other things. So he's going to be on the show with me and Roxy, interview him. I'm going to be talking to Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones and Fast and Furious. Got a new movie coming out. Talk to her. So got a lot of great interviews, working on more interviews. I got the Clips channel. I hope you guys have been checking out that Clips channel because there's been some good stuff going on over there. And I break down some of those interviews. And that's it. So appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side, everybody. Bye-bye. See ya. And then I was going to say we, but I don't think I will. Bye. Wee.